గిరిరాజ్ ప్రభుజీ మీకు కోహోస్ట్ యాక్సెస్ ఇచ్చాను, మీరు షేర్ చేయొచ్చు స్క్రీన్.
Sure, Mother. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna again, and all pranams. All glory to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining today in the morning Bhagavatam class. We'll begin with, again, regular prayer. Quickly, let me sing. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Venuparam Tamaravinda Lalataksham Parhavatam Samastita Buddhasundarangam Kandarbhakodikamanaya Visheshashubham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Anganisya Sakale Driyavritimante Pasyanti Panti Kalayanti Shiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jvala Vigrahasya Govindam Haripurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Haripurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Haripurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Haripurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with a head decked with a peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. Brahma Samhitam prayers ki jai, Supreme Personality of God Shri Govindan ki jai, Lord Brahma ki jai. So anybody please read this translation before singing Guru Vandana. Please read translation, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Translation: The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From his ecstatic prema emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and Master of the devotees. O Lokanatha Goswami, O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mate. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradayam ki jai. Guru Vandanam ki jai. Srilnartam Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Pandomoy Savadana Mate Pandomoy Savadana Mate Jara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hai Hai Te Krishna Prapti Hai Hai Te Guru Mukha Padma Vatya চিতেতে করিয়া আজ্ঞা আর না করিহ মানে আশা আর না করিহ মানে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে গতি ऐसे गति ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्वा आशा ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्वा आशा चक्कुदान दिलो जय जन्म जन्म प्रभु से चक्कुदान दिलो जय जन्म जन्म प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित हो, दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित हो। प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ हृदय अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ हृदय अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहाँ रचरित हो, वेद गाय जहाँ रचरित हो। ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ಕರುಣಾ ಸಿಂಧು ಅಧಮಗೆ ನಾರ ಬಂಧು ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರು ಕರುಣಾ ಸಿಂಧು ಅಧಮಗೆ ನಾರ ಬಂಧು ಲೋಕನಾಥ್ ಲೋಕೇರ ಜೀವಾನ ಲೋಕನಾಥ್ ಲೋಕೇರ ಜೀವಾನ ಆಹ ಪ್ರಭು ಕುರುದಯ ದೇಹ ಮೋರೆ ಪಾದಚಯ ಆಹ ಪ್ರಭು ಕುರುದಯ ದೇಹ ಮೋರೆ ಪಾದಚಯ ಆಹಾ ಪ್ರಭು ಕುರುದಯ দেহ মরে পদাচায় আহা প্রভু করো দয়া দেহ মরে পদাচায় এবে যাস দুষুক্তে ভুবানা এবে যাস দুষুক্তে ভুবানা শ্রীলা প্রভুপাদ পতিতা পাবানা শ্রীলা গুরুদেব লইল চরানা जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा श्री गुरु वंदनम की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीलोत्तम दास ठाकुर की जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुञ्ज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधे जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा कुंज बिहारी राधा जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शताब्दी चरणानंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतक श्री वेंकटेश्वर श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। We'll start. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, The Prescribed Duties for Mankind, and Chapter 16, Chitraketu Pastimes. Chitraketu meets Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the chapter title. Until 35 verses we have discussed, yeah, in this chapter since last few weeks. So today we'll continue from 36 verse. Okay, so begin with regular uh, prayers, Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणे प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखगरदिवाचालं पंगुप्लङ्गायतिगिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ॐ अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थङ्गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सबाह्याभ्यन्तरं शुचिः श्रीविष्णु ॐ तद्विष्णु परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयो दिव्या चक्षुराततं सद्विप्रास विपन्यवो जागृहंस समिन्दते विष्णुं यत् परमं पदं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। Thank you all devotees for joining today, Sunday morning. Our Krishna consciousness movement so blissful, and every day we are purifying actually. If we follow, actually, Prabhupada has given, Srila Prabhupada has given morning Mangala Arati every day. Mm. Of course, sometimes it's not possible as working as we working grihasthas, but Sundays, Saturdays, definitely we just have to attend Mangalartis. If at all possible, we go to local temples. We have our center. All of our voice boys nicely doing every day without fail Mangalarti, nicely discussing Krishna's pastimes, and very nice. That's where our Siksha Guru Radhesham Prabhu um, very much so nicely organized these youth centers, youth preaching centers, especially voice centers or yoga centers, uh, just like just replica of the temple morning program. Even the working people also attend, whoever lives in that center. So it creates wonderful consciousness in the mornings actually. So all the morning prayers, then after Guru Vandana chanting, then after Govinda Madhupusha prayer, first darshan of the day with new outfit, and new ornaments of the Lord, blissful darshan and Guru Vandana. So unless until we understand the Guru's importance, we won't be able to understand the any one word of or single letter of scripture. It's their mercy we are able to speak, we are able to understand. And here I take the opportunity to, I'm grateful to all of the wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and thank you so much, Lilananda Prabhu, for here nicely inspiring everybody. and motivating everybody, and nicely progressing and developing center, uh, Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev, and especially our Siksha Guru Radheshan Guru, definitely happy with all of us. Um, Thank you so much. So we'll start. Mm, Let me share here one quick understanding. These are the beauty of our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Recently, we had a couple of times his personal association. I personally connected from from Bhagavata, this one Bhakti Vaibhava classes, and that during the COVID time Bhagavata series, 70 plus lectures he has conducted during that time every day, those 70 days continuously. Very nice. So it gives a glimpse of 1 hour, 1 hour 20 minutes of the lecture, complete Bhagavatam he has spoken. So that time he has prepared these slides. We got access from Bhakti Vaibhava course. So I refer most of the times. It is going to help me for referring and for connecting and the context verses from this Bhagavatam. They put a lot of effort. Vidyapit team in Jugovardhaneka village. Um, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's team, they put a lot of effort to combine with these various Subodhini guides and this, nicely section wise divided those, what exactly those verses speaking about, what is the context. We can take benefit of those, their effort. We can use it and, present. So I use most of the times I use. So I'm sharing right now. This is the slide. So Chitraketu pastimes is wonderful chapter, beautiful chapter. Why beautiful? Chitraketu met Supreme Personality of Godhead. Um, his life is first some desires there. He wanted to have children. Some then later lamentation came in after his son died. Uh, so very why beautiful? Because he personally met Supreme Lord. As we practitioners of Bhakti Yoga, our understanding ultimately, yes, we accept impersonalism also, but our ultimate goal is person. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So here, Chitraketu Maharaj, Krishnastu Bhagavan, he himself experienced the Supreme Lord, personally witnessing how he looks. He's explaining actually how he looks, his personal form. So this chapter title, King Chitraketu meets the Supreme Lord. So these are the sections we have already completed until 35 verse. 1 to 11 talks about Jiva, the dead son alive, speaks to Chitraketu. And 12 to 16, those set of verses talks about child's funeral rites and queen's atonement. And 17 to 25 talks about Narada's instructions to Chitraketu. 26 to 33, Chitraketu chants mantra given by Narada and attains Lord Darshana. 34 to 48 talks about Chitraketu's prayers to the Lord. So that is where we are going to discuss today. His prayers. And next, 49 to 65, Supreme Personality of Godhead's reciprocations towards Chitraketu for his personal glorification. So Lord's reply to Chitraketu. So we'll continue until 8:30, 8:45 max. We'll see. Um, so before that, we all know, right? Chitraketu Maharaj doesn't have any son. He has many wives. Uh, but he wanted to have son because వారసుడు ఉండాలని అంటారు కదా. We have hair kingdom. He has wonderful kingdom, but he doesn't have any hair. So he wanted to have a son. So he wanted to have a son. So here, some context I got it from here. So let me share a few things and we'll understand. Quick, it won't take much time, just a couple of minutes. I'm sharing here. 1 second, devotees. Oh, okay. Uh, Very good. Okay. So just a few points. Hmm. So it's there. The story of Chitraketu is in the we can recount from the Srimad Bhagavatam. How? So let us see. King Chitraketu was a respected king with great riches and power, but no children. Yeah, అన్ని ఉన్నాయి. But అన్నీ but he wanted to have son. ఎందుకంటే he has to rule. The son has to continue his legacy, his kingdom like that. He wanted to have a son. He wanted to have a son. He has many. His many wives were all barren. Barren means no son. I mean, no progeny, no offsprings. Seeing the king's distress, Angira Muni is a spiritual master of the great this Chitraketu. A great sage visited the king and blessed him to have a son. Yeah, you will have family and you will have children. So you wanted to have son especially, so you will get it. Angira told the king that the child's name would be Harsha Suka. So he himself, before getting birth of this son, so he has named Harsha Shoka because he is going to give happiness and he is going to give distress. The king assumed that the child would just be mischievous, naughty at all times, as were all the children. Cranky, naughty, and చేసా ఉంటారు కదా చిన్నపిల్లలు, and so dismiss the woman of the child's name. And the name itself is like that. Harsha Shoka, huh? Nice name. Harsha Shoka. Soon, one of the king's wives gave birth to a beautiful boy. The king, infatuated with the child and the child's mother, neglected his other wives. So, so once one wife got this beautiful boy, the other wives got enviousness. And the Lord's, the Chitraketu Maharaja's attention only to that wife and these children. He doesn't taking care of anybody actually in that sense. Once he got the boy, more attention, focus, and towards that particular wife and son. So all other wives who became distraught, envy clouded their intelligence. ఏమైంది ఇంకా ఈ రాజు ఒక్కడే, ఈ రాజు ఒక్క వైఫ్ గురించే చేస్తుండ్రు, ఇది ఎంత మమ్మల్ని ఏం టేక్ కేర్ చేయట్లేరు, ఆ, ఆ, మొత్తం ఫోకస్ అంతా అక్కడే ఉంది, మొత్తం ప్రేమ అంతా అక్కడే ఉన్నది. ఎన్వియస్ వచ్చి వచ్చింది అనమాట. ఎన్వియస్నెస్, ఈ అసూయ. సే వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఎన్వియస్నెస్? మీకున్నది నా దగ్గర లేదు, మీ దగ్గర ఉన్నది నా దగ్గర లేదు, అండ్ మీ దగ్గర కూడా ఉండకూడదు. సో అది టూ మచ్. నా దగ్గర ఉన్నది మీ దగ్గర ఉన్నది నా దగ్గర లేదు, అండ్ మీ దగ్గర ఉండకూడదు. సో అది envy clouded their intelligence, and they plotted to poison the child. Seeing his dead son, the king lamented piteously. That all pastimes, that's where, that Mangira Muni is named Harsha Shoka. Now he is lamented. First he got the happiness, once he got the boy. Now he's got the lamenting. Had the story ended here, the king most likely would have been consumed by his loss. But Angira Muni, accompanied by the transcendental sage Narada, అప్పుడు నారదముని ఎంటర్ అయ్యిండు, along with Angira Muni, appeared before the king. By his mystic power, Narada Muni summoned, words are so nice, huh? Narada Muni summoned the spirit soul who had left the child's body. Obeying the order, the soul re-entered the child's dead body. Because of the presence of the soul, the body again became animated. So animation, how our body animation works, unless until the soul's presence is there. The soul's presence is there, that's where the body is animating, moving, having consciousness, having feelings, everything. So again, and Narada asked the child to speak to his parents, the king and queen. Narada asked the child to speak to his parents and the king and queen. Once he got consciousness, he got it back from the dead body to living body. So his teachings are so good. Now let us see. The same person, Arshishoka, after died, now the living entity is speaking. Not Arshishoka, it's a living entity speaking. The spirit soul is speaking. Very connected things. So many times Srila Prabhupada writes, that example in the stars in the ocean, one wave all that straws come together with one wave. The other wave separates. That means, we all coming into being and we have some relationships. And time separates us because this body is not going to live forever. Time separates us. And the same relatives, the friends, no more. Up to only for this body. Next body, no similar parents, no similar friends, no similar relatives. Because everybody is changing. Everybody, the relationships are the pertaining to the body is gonna change. So here those teachings come from this past time. This living entity is speaking now. According to the results of my fruitive activities, that child said, I, the living being, transmigrate from one body to another. These are the slokas there, devotees, in this chapter actually. We will quickly refer also. We will see. Hmm. Sometimes going to the species of the demigods, sometimes to the species of lower animals, sometimes among the vegetables, and sometimes to the human species. 8,400,000 species. We know that. Therefore, in which birth were these my mother and father? No one is actually my mother and father. How can I accept these two people as my parents? So now Chitraketu bewildered. He is my son. He got it back alive, but he is not able to recognize me. He is not able to harm his father, his feelings. But as the child spoke transcendental knowledge, the king realized the error of his perception. Error of his perception. Realized the error of his perception. Basically, bodily concept of life. So he is my son. So he is realized. He had been thinking, this child is mine, born to give me pleasure. But now the king could see differently. The spirit soul he was thinking to be his son was occupying that body only temporarily. The king, now free of material illusion and attachment, could direct his affections towards the Lord, and he gained the highest happiness. This is a quick understanding. Now he got the free from all material illusion and attachment, could direct his affections. So we all have to direct our affections towards Supreme Lord. Of course, we all have to take responsibilities, but ultimately we have to give Krishna consciousness to our children. So that is the only and goal of our life. We have to practice, and all of our dependents also practice the bhakti yoga. And he gained the highest happiness. So this is quick thing. Now let me share again this one, the same teachings, whatever there in that particular paragraph. So let us see. Narada Angira instructs Chitraketu. Narada brought dead son into the vision of all lamenting relatives and spoke. Second verse talks about your parents, friends, relatives are in grief because of your passing away. And third one, untimely death, re-enter body, enjoy remaining life with friends, relatives, throne and opulences. And fourth one talks about I transmigrate according to my karma. Thus, the spirit soul is speaking. The the Ashashoka, previous before that, before he died, now the spirit soul is speaking. 4 to 11 verses talks about Jiva speaks to Chitraketu. In which birth are these my parents? In which birth are these my parents? Fifth verse, see me as enemy, rejoice my death. No one is permanently related to in material world, despite various transactions. So no one is permanently related in material world. So whatever relationships we are carrying, whatever friends we are having until this body only. So these are our body relations, not spiritual relations. Yeah, the same bodily relations. If that is a materialistic understanding. Now when we talk about devotee associations, they are all persons only. They also got the material bodies. How can we understand? But devotee relationship is eternal relationship actually. Devotee association is eternal association. So that is the difference. This is talking about the materialistic understanding. So no one is permanently related in material world despite various transactions. That means different transactions means different activities. According to the activities, we got different bodies. Sixth verse, if enemy, how could king have so much affection? Living entities transmigration, goals continuous transfer through purchase and sale, like that. Example is given. And same particular set of verses. Aside from transmigration, even in this life, relationships are impermanent. In material world, relationships induce possessiveness. Both are temporary. The same possessiveness we can utilize in Krishna service. How? We can establish, we can we have five primary relationships. That is original relationship from the spiritual world, right? Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. The possessiveness, spiritual possessiveness is there. Uh, until Krishna only reveals us, what kind of relationship that I can cherish and um, experience joy to connect with Krishna. So eternal jivas have no material identity, gets connected to parents through perishable bodies. So in our bodies are perishable. That means there are six changes of our body. We all know the body is gonna take birth, body is going to grow, body is going to grow, give offsprings, body is going to uh, dwindle, body is going to stay for some time, body is going to dwindle, and ultimately body is going to vanish. So that's where it's called perishable. Perishable bodies undergo six changes. In our body, there is imperishable. The spirit soul is imperishable. Ninth one, qualities of Jiva. That Jiva's qualities explained here in these verses. Hmm. Qualities of uh, qualities of Lord. Living entity, being is part and parcel. Possesses his qualities in minute quantity. Sachidananda Vigraha. Krishna is unlimited, so we have limited. Same qualities. Qualitatively, we are we are qualitatively one with Krishna and quantitatively different with Krishna. That is the Achintya Bheda Tattva. This particular understanding given by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is a perfect understanding, right? Sachidananda Vigraha, we also have our spiritual body, Sachidananda Vigraha. Always blissful, always eternal, blissful, and knowledgeable. That's where it's eternal. So possesses qualities in minute quantity. Next one. And this 12 to 16 child's funeral rites means atonement. Chitraketu relatives cut off the shackles of the affection, gave up lamentation. So he got that one. Did funeral ceremonies, gave up affection. That leads to illusion. Affection towards bodily relationships. That's the problem. Illusion. So same bodily relationship, too much attached, but too much into that. Uh, Too much, basically too much attachment to the body. So when the body is left, lamentation will come because of the too much attachment to that particular relatives, friends, or those kind of relationships. Lamentation, fear, pain, difficult to give up, possible by the association of a devotee. So this can be this can be give up with the devotee association. The same illusion become knowledgeable, lamentation become happiness, fear, pain, everything will be. That's where sadhu sangha is very important. Devotee association is very much needed for our Krishna consciousness. I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. I may practice for some time alone, but it won't sustain or continues. Uh, for long, we cannot possible. It cannot be possible unless until we get the sadhu sangha, devotee association. With the association only, we get the taste of holy name. We get the interest in bhakti yoga, practicing nicely. Everybody is practicing. Why we take association of the devotees? Because mutual inspiration. Oh, they are practicing nicely. I wanted to also practice. Oh, they are serving nicely. I will also service. I will also do some render services. Hmm? Many things by devotee association. And Krishna consciousness philosophy is a personal. Until unless we get devotee association, how can we experience the personality of Supreme Godhead? There is no chance. So devotee association is very, very important. 14th one, Kritadyuti, co-wives. Kritadyuti is co-wives. Kritadyuti, who is Kritadyuti? The wife who begot the children, who begot the son. Kritadyuti, co-wives, ashamed, lost bodily luster. Under the Brahmana's direction, they atone at Yamuna bank. Chitraketu came out of dark well of family life. Here, elephant example is given. That picture is pictorial example. Why? Because elephant nicely took bath and again come back on the shores. Again, it covers with too much muddy like that. In labam. So same thing. Atonement is needed, but serious atonement is needed, not temporary. So elephant out of muddy water. 16. King bathed oblations to forefathers and demigods. Wangira and Narada. This is one of the important slide devotees we can see here. Narada's instructions to Chitraketu. So all these set of verses, put it into one slide. Very nice. We can read here. Offered obeisance to Chaturvyuha forms of Supreme Lord. Chaturvyuha forms. What are the Chaturvyuha forms we have? First, that's Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. So those are the Chaturvya forms: Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. Uh, 9 differences between SL. SL means what is SL? Supreme Lord. And LE means living entity. Our devotees are so creative to save time, or basically to put it into everything in the slides. They use short forms. VCT, our Radhesham Prabhu, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, VVB, SP, Srila Prabhupada. Here, SL means Supreme Lord, LE means living entity. Okay. So here, those first, see here, 5 differences and 4 differences, 19 and 20, those verses, 1 to 5 and 6 to 9. We see here, uh, this particular verse talks about what exactly is all about. See, Vijnana, Vijnana Matraya, full of knowledge. Paramananda Murtaye, full of transcendental bliss. Atma Ramaya, self-sufficient. Self-sufficient does not need to search for external enjoyment. Atma Ramaya, Shantaya, free from disturbances. Nivrutta Dvaita Drishyate. Very, very important words, devotees, this one. Nivrutta Dvaita Drishyate, whose vision turns away from duality. Duality are not attached to material world. One wife a second. Uh, Nyasta Shaktya Urmaye, transcendental to Maya. Mahate, greatest. Rishikeshaya, supreme controller of the senses. Supreme controller of the senses. Nanta Murtaye, unlimited expansion. So these are the 9 differences between Supreme Lord and living entity. So transcendental to Maya. We are we are we are always in the Maya because we got the material body. Under the modes of material nature, we are suffering or enjoying whatever little. And he is the greatest. We are not greatest. Hmm? Rishikesha, supreme control of the senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. So that is the understanding, right? We all have Rishikena, Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam, Tatparatvena Nirmalam, Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. That is the goal of life. That is the goal of our senses to render service Supreme Lord. So he is a supreme controller of all the senses. Nanyate Murtaye, unlimited expansion. Our body is limited, our understandings are limited. Since our body is limited, our understandings also limited because of um, how our understandings, we cannot perceive some things. We just have to surrender our intelligence, surrender our ego at the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. Then we will be able to understand the unlimited expansions of the Supreme Lord. Nivrutta Dvaita Drishyate, whose vision turns away from duality. There is no duality in the spiritual world. Whereas in the material world, duality, happiness, distress, lamentation, mm, cold winter. So these are the things. Shantaya, freedom from disturbance. Always peaceful. As we got the material body, we never ever become peaceful. Peaceful. We always get and happiness. Nirananda. Atma Ramaya, self-sufficient, does not need to search for external enjoyment. Paramananda, full of transcendental bliss. Vijnana Matre, full of knowledge. So he basically he knows everything. He is everything. All these aspects, these nine aspects that is differentiate between Supreme Lord and living entity. He has a impersonal feature also. Impersonal feature of Brahman, Brahmajyoti is an impersonal feature. Hmm? Cause of universe, beyond senses, source of consciousness, served by his devotees. Narada instructs to Chitraketu. He has given knowledge to Chitraketu. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he is beyond all this. So you have to surrender and you have to practice Bhakti Yoga. Impersonal feature is there. Cause of universe, Sarva Karana Karanam, Govindam, Adipurusham, Tamaham Bhajami. Ishvara Paramakrishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Anadi Adi. The Govinda Namal also. Adyantarahita Govinda. Adi Antarahita Govinda. The Govinda Namal. We went to Tirupati, all the time. Govinda Namala audio playing in that dham. Adi Antarahita Govinda. Okay. Cause of universe, beyond senses, source of consciousness, served by his devotees. Very good. So this is one more last section, and we'll continue with our verses and discussion. 26 to 33, Chitraketu attains Lord's darshan. So you are the personal form of Supreme Lord. Secondary result of Bhakti, achieved the rule of Vidyadhara planet, so higher planetary system. And then primary result of Bhakti, attained shelter of lotus feet of Ananta Deva, form of Lord Ananta, while like a water lily, wearing a blue cloth, glittering helmet, armlets, belt, bracelets with smiling face. You have seen this form of Supreme Lord. 31 to 33 response of Chitraketu. Cleansed of all material contaminations. Because of the symptoms of ecstasy, Chitraketu was unable to offer prayers. ఏమైతుందంటే when they see Supreme Personality of Godhead, వాయిస్ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు గద్గద స్వరం అంటారు ఇన్ తెలుగులో. వాయిస్ నుంచి మాటలు రావు యాక్చువల్గా, గద్గద స్వరం. బికాస్ స్పిరిచువల్ ప్లేస్ అష్టసాత్విక వికార అనేది we have seen many times. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced Ashtasatvika Vihara. Nayanam Galadashrudharaya, Vadanam Gadgadaruddaya Gira, Pulakaya Nishitam Vapukada, Tavanama Grahani Bhavishati, Sikshastakam prayer. Is explained how the spiritual bliss is gonna be. So here also, once he experienced the Supreme Personality of Godhead in personal form, he is not able to speak actually. Response, okay, because of the symptoms of ecstasy. Later, by controlling his mind and senses, he began prayers to the Supreme Lord. So today's section, we will talk about the Chitraket prayers to Supreme Lord. So that's where we are continuing. Okay. So it's a quick understanding what is 34 to 48 and Chitraket prayers to the Lord. So we'll continue. Let me share Vedabis here. Okay. Yeah. So I same will follow with the translation, and I will explain from the purports from Srila Prabhupada. Okay, right. So 36. Let me see for the corrected thing here from the 34 also. 34. Let me read the translation once, and 35 also. And then we'll continue from 36. Text 34. Okay. Let me since we are starting now Bhagavatam verses. Narayanam namaskrutyam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tathaiva nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama sloke bhakti naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopakumaraya govindaya namo namah pankaja nabhaya namah pankaja maline namah pankaja netraya namaste pankajangrahe. So these are the verses from Bhagavatam only. So let me share here, devotees. One summary message here. Okay. Okay. Text 34. Chitraket said, "Oh, unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control of the mind and senses." How can we conquer Krishna? unless a person controls his mind and senses. It's a very difficult task, devotees. Controlling mind and senses. ఒక జీవితకాలం పట్టొచ్చు, ఒక జీవితకాలం పట్టొచ్చు, లేదంటే మేబీ few more lifetimes. If Krishna's mercy is there, for example, in this lifetime, how Srila Prabhupada has given this wonderful statement, we have passed so many lifetimes. Give this one life to Krishna. This one life to Krishna, I will take care of. This personal assurance from Srila Prabhupada. So, how can we conquer Krishna? By devotees, we have control the mind and senses. They can keep you under the control because you are causelessly merciful to devotees who desire no material benefit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them. And because of this, you also have full control over your devotees. Same. భగవంతుని పైన కంట్రోల్ వస్తుంది డివోటీస్కి, ప్యూర్ డివోటీస్కి. అండ్ సేమ్ థింగ్, Krishna is going to completely take care of the pure devotees. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Who are the pure devotees? They doesn't have any materialistic motives. Anyabhilashita shunyam. There is no jnana, karma, anavritam. Anukulyena Krishna anusiranam bhakti uttama. They practice uttama bhakti yoga. Text 35. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences, since Lord Brahma and other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you. Ete cham sakala purusha Krishna. There is one verse, right? Partial, um, mm, different parts, different incarnations, everything. But ultimately, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Since the Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of your portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. They have partial power until to create material secondary creation, Visarga. The Lord Brahma creates the secondary creation, Visarga, but Sarga, the basic elements, modes, everything is given by Krishna only. Pradhana, it's called. Mahatattva, Pradhana. These are the originally created by Supreme Personality of Godhead. With the help of those elements, that's why it's called Visarga. Secondary creator is a Brahma. Their consciousness of themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. So text 36. So from 35 onwards, the 34 onwards is prayers to Supreme Lord, glorifying Supreme Lord. So the text 36. Let us recite one verse and with word by word and translation and purport, and the remaining verses will continue with the translations. I will ask devotees to read, and I will explain from Srila Prabhupada purports. So let me share now one verse. Okay, right here. 36. Text 36. Let me see synonyms also. Okay. Text 36. Who is glorifying? Chitraketu Maharaj glorifying to Supreme Lord. Paramanu Parama Mahatos Tvamadya Anantara Vartitraya Viduraha Advante Picha Sattvanam Yadruvam Tadevantaralaypi Paramanu Parama Mahatos Tvamadyantara Vartitraya Viduraha Adavante Picha Sattvanam Yadruvam evantarale. Anybody likes to recite? Okasari cheyandi. Anybody, please. Mataji as Prabhuji. Recite, please. Try, devotee.
Paramanu Paramamahatas Tvam Adi Anantara Vartitraya Viduraha Advo Ante Picha Sattvanam Yadruvam Tad Evantare. Prabhuji, I did not hear properly your recitation. Next time I will read properly.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Evantarale. Very good. So word by word, let us see. Paramanu Parama Anu, the atomic particle, Parama Mahato, and of the biggest, the result of the combination of atoms. From you, Adi Anta, in both the beginning and the end. Antara, and in the middle. Adyanta, Adyantara. Varti, existing. Traya Viduraha, all without beginning and or middle. Adau, in the beginning. Ante, at the end. Api, also. Cha, and Satvanam, of all existence. Yat, which. Dhruvam, permanent. Tat, that. Eva, certainly. Antarale, in the middle. Api, also. Translation purport by Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now let us see what is the meaning of this particular verse. You exist in the beginning, middle, and end of everything. From the most minute particle of the cosmic manifestation, the atom, to the gigantic universes and total material energy. Nonetheless, you are eternal, having no beginning, end, or middle. You are perceived to exist in these three phases. Adyanta Rahita, Adi Anta. Three phases, and thus uh, is it audible? Suddenly, my internet just fluctuated. Is it audible, devotees?
Now
Please,
it's okay, Prabhu.
Jai. Please read anybody, please, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Lakshmi Kant Prabhu, cheyandi.
Prabhu కొద్దిగా move చేయాలి screen. I worship translation. I worship the Supreme Personality of the Godhead.
ఒకసారి నేను ట్రాన్స్లేట్ నేను రిసైడ్ చేసి ది బ్రహ్మ సంహిత 5.33 says అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిమనంత రూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయౌవనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లమాత్మ భక్తౌ గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. నౌ రీడ్ ప్రభు. రీడ్. లక్ష్మీకాంత్ ప్రభు, రీడ్.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I worship the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. Govinda, who is the original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning, although expanded into unlimited forms, still the same original, the oldest, and the person always appearing as a fresh youth. Such eternal, blissful, all-knowing forms of the Lord cannot be understood even by the best Vedic scholars, but they are always manifest to pure, unalloyed devotee. The Supreme Personality of a Godhead has no cause, for He is the cause of everything. The Lord is beyond the workings of cause of and effect. He is externally existing. In another verse, the Brahma Samhita says, Anadi
అండాంతరస్థ పరమాను చేయంతరస్థ
Paramanasno Chaitantra Stham. The Lord existing within the gigantic universe and within the atom. The descent of the Lord into atom and the universe indicates that without his presence, nothing could factually exist. Scientists say that water is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen, but when they see a vast ocean, they are puzzled about where such quantity of a hydrogen and oxygen could have come from. Come from. They think that everything evolved from chemical, but where did the chemical come from? That they do not know, since the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is the cause of all causes. He can produce immense quantity of a chemical to create a situation for a chemical evolution. We actually see that the chemical are produced from living entities. For example, a lemon tree produces many tons of citric acid. The citric acid is not the cause of tree, rather the tree is the cause of the acid. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is the cause of everything. He is the cause of the tree that produces the citric acid. A devotee can see that the original potencies causing the cosmic manifestation are not chemical, but in the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, for he is the cause of all chemicals. Everything is caused or manifest by the energy of the Supreme Lord. And when everything is inhalated or dissolved, the original potency enters the body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, therefore, this verse says, Adav ante picha tatvanam yadhruvam tad ivantralepi. The word dhruvam means permanent. The permanent reality is Krishna, not this cosmic manifestations. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, aham adir hi devanam and mattah sarvam pravartate. Krishna is the original cause of everything. Arjuna, Arjuna recognized Lord Sri Krishna as the original person. Purusha Purusham Saswatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibham. And the Brahma Samhita describes him as the original person, Govindam Adi Purusham. He is the cause of all causes, whether at the beginning, at the end, or in the middle. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Nice. So here, what we have seen here, Prabhupada pointed out wonderful verse from Brahma Samhita prayer. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha. Etla untadu Supreme Personality Navayavvanam cha. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim is Anadi, no beginning and no end. The same verse, Chitraketu Maharaj also in his prayer is glorifying Supreme Lord. Vedesh Durlam Adurlam Atma Bhakta Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. Some points Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He is everywhere. The Lord exists within the gigantic universe and within the atom. There is understanding. And Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. What is the meaning? Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. Aham Bija Pradapita. I am seed giving father. Krishna is in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Aham Bija Pradapita. Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the cause of the tree. Tree example is given, lemon tree. Lemon tree giving so much tons of citric acid. Who is the cause then? Tree is the cause, right? Just like tree is the cause, tree is giving everything, that the citric acid the producing from the tree. So all is the cause of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam, material existence, spiritual existence, basically everything. Adyantarahita Govinda. He has no beginning and no end. He is eternal and he is permanent. So that's the thing. Pari is the cause of all causes. Here, one more point. Advante picha sat in this verse, Advante picha satvanam yadruvam tadevantaralepi. Dhruvam means permanent. Permanent reality is Krishna. So Krishna is reality. Whatever is creation, coming and going, manifestations, that's why is reality. That reality can be experienced in the spiritual world. Because Krishna is a person. And here, particular point mentioned by Prabhupada, the permanent reality is Krishna, not this cosmic manifestation. Why he mentioned? Cosmic manifestation coming and going, right? From the Karanadakashai Vishnu, from his skin pores, unlimited universes sprouted, coming into play. And each of universe, there is particular Brahma. In that Garbhodakasha, through the Garbhodakasha Vishnu, Brahma will come. So these are the creations coming and going. There is a particular time. It is going to stay for some time, and again annihilation. Annihilation in terms of dissolve, like absorbing, kind of going back to in his skin pores like that. So, and this is a temporary manifestations. That Krishna is permanent. Aham adirihi devana Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada pointed out this particular verse. Aham adirihi devana and mattam sarvam pravartate. What is that verse? Anybody remember? Matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samarvita. Krishna is the original cause of everything. Arjuna recognized that Krishna is the original person. Purusham Sashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Arjuna's words. You are Purusham, Shashvatam. You are the person and you are eternal. Divyam, transcendental. Adidevanam. You are the original personality of all the devatas. Before coming into any demigods, anything, you are Adideva. Ajam Vibhum. No birth. And Brahma Samhita describes him as the original person. Govindam Adipurusham. Is a cause of all causes, whether at the beginning, at the end, or in the middle. So this translation also, Chitragita Maharaj's prayer also connects to these things. He is glorifying light, glorifying Supreme Lord like that. You have no beginning, you have no middle, you have no end. You exist in the beginning, you exist in the middle, you exist in the end of everything. And you are most minute particle of the cosmic manifestation. From the most minute particle of the cosmic manifestation, the atom, to the gigantic universes, the total metal energy, nonetheless, you are eternal, having no beginning, no end, no middle. You are perceived to exist in these three phases. Glorify Yesunanamata. Okay, so let us continue with the translations and we'll add some points from the Prabhupada purports. Okay, so now let me share. Text 37. Anybody likes to read? Let me share. Okay, 37. Just now we have read this one. Text 37. Please read. Anybody?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Praveen Prabhu or Padma Mataji? Read it.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
No.
Translation. Every universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, time, the total energy, and false ego, each 10 times greater than the previous one. There are innumerable universes besides this one, and although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are unlimited. Ananta.
Unlimited.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So every universe is covered by 7 layers. These are the basic elements. Okay, before creation, this is called Sarga. Okay, these are the created by Supreme Lord Himself. Based on these elements only, Brahma utilized and continued with the creation. Visarga. Earth, water, fire, air, sky, the total energy, false ego, each 10 times greater than the previous one. These are all innumerable universes besides this one. Although they are unlimitedly large, they move about like atoms in you. Therefore, you are called unlimited. Ananta Devuni ki jai. So, what Prabhupada mentioned here, Just a minute here. No need. Okay. So Brahma Samhita, what Brahma Samhita says? Brahma Samhita says, strive, this is the verse. Yasyaika nivarsita kalamata valambya jivanti loma vilaya jagadandanaada Vishnur mahan sahiyasya kula vishesho Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The origin of material creation is Mahavishnu, who lies in the causal ocean. Karanodakshaya Vishnu also we can say. So everything comes from Krishna or Govinda comes from Balarama. From Balarama comes from Sankarshana. From Sankarshana, Narayana. From Narayana, the second Sankarshana. These are the coming. Somebody is speaking. Let me 1 second. Okay, Mataji, sorry. I'll ask you to read again. Padma Mataji, I'm just keeping you mute. Okay. Okay. This is the thing. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. In each of the universe, he expanded as a super soul, as a Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Shankha Chakra Kamala Gadadhar. So here, why the glorifying? You are everything. All these elements are come from you, just like atoms, and floating in you. And that's why you are unlimited. You are Ananta. That's where his prayer, Chitraketu Maharaj prayer. Okay. Okay. So, and Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport 10.42 verse Bhagavad Gita. Atava bahunaitena kim jnatena tavarjuna vistabhyaham idam krishnam ekamshena stito jagat. Ekamshena stito jagat. Ekamshena stito jagat. Okay, what is the meaning? What need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Chitraket Maharaj prayer also, those are all these elements floating like atoms in you, and that's where you are Ananta. So that is his prayer. But Prabhupada pointed out particular verse, Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ekamshena stito jagat. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. How much powerful is Krishna? That is one of the attractive quality we all know, right? Attractive quality. So he is powerful. All these universes sustaining him, coming from him, and there is no cause and effect for him. In this material world, there is a cause, there is an effect. What is the cause? If we do good cause, good effects. Bad cause, bad effects. Is rahita of this cause and effect. Atayeva bahunayitena kim jnatena tavarjuna vistabhyaham idam krishnam ekamshena stito jagat. ఇట్లా పోతుంది అనమాట క్రియేషన్ ఎట్లా నడిపిస్తున్నాడు effortlessly. There is one word, English word, effortlessly. Okay, now let me share again. Next verse. Text 38. Devotees, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons. Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. O Lord, O Supreme, unintelligent persons who thirst for sense enjoyment and who worship various demigods are no better than animals in the human form of life. Because of their animalistic propensities, they fail to worship your lordship, and instead they worship the insignificant demigods who are but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of the entire universe, including the demigods, the benediction received from the demigods also vanished, just like the novelty when a king is no longer in power. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Let me quickly share here. Immediately, when he sees, this is what Prabhupada's beauty of purports. Uninclined person who thirsts for sense enjoyment and worship various demigods and are no better than animals in human form of life. Here only we got the word that Dripada Pashu. Dripada Pashu or Nara Pashu. Where is that verse? See here. This is the verse, right? We are right now. Vishaya Trisho Narapashavo. This is the verse actually. So, Prabhupada pointed out one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Kamastesar Itargyana Prapadya Anya Devata. Uninclined person directly, indirect worship. They go to different demigods for material benefit and their sense enjoyments. With that material benefit, once they got benediction, and with that benediction, they enjoy senses. And it is treating like no better than animals. In human form. Who is saying this one? Chitraketu Maharaj prayers. He got realizations. Vishaya Trisho Nara Pashavo Ya Upasate Vibhutir Na Paramtvam Tesham Ashishaisha Tadanu Vinashyanti Yata Rajakulam. What is it? Because of their animalistic propensity. What is animalistic propensity? This is talking about materialistic way of life, devotees, okay? As we are fortunate, we are at least trying to coming out of this animalistic propensity, eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. We are trying to use our, influence in Krishna's service, at least. They fail to worship your lordship. Instead, they worship the insignificant demigods, who are all but small sparks of your glory. With the destruction of the entire universe, including demigods, the benedictions received from the demigods also vanish. Just like the nobility making is no longer in power. Demigod worship only for material benefit, not for any spiritual benefit. If we want to have a spiritual benefit and permanent benefit, we just have to worship Supreme Lord Govinda Krishna. Kamastaistar is the jnana. Distorted by material desires. Distorted. Prabhupada used a nice word. Distorted by material desires. With the jnana, their knowledge lost, their influence lost. Another verse Prabhupada quotes, Akama sarva kamo moksha kama udarati trivena bhakti yogena yajeta purisham param. Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Whether a person having full of material desires, free from material desires, or desiring for liberation, come to Krishna. Why you have to go to various demigods? Okay, come and worship. Akama sarva kamo moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yoga. Practice bhakti yoga. Chalo, if you have material desires, okay, pray, but practice bhakti yoga. This is the duty of a perfect human being. One who has the shape of a human being, but those our actions are nothing but those of an animal is called Narapashu or the Dvipada Pashu, two-legged animal. A human being who is not interested in Krishna consciousness is condemned herewith as Narapashu. Prabhupada used hard words. Narapashu, not interested in Krishna consciousness. Majority of the people own in the 9 billion people of this world, only 1 or 2% just practicing bhakti yoga. Majority of the people who are not interested in understanding God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. That's where animalistic propensities. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And there is only one motto. We have only one life. We just have to, this life, enjoy it fullest possible way. తెలుగులో ఉంటది ఉన్నది ఒకటే జీవితం అని అండ్ దెర్ ఇస్ వన్ హిందీ మూవీ నేమ్ ఆల్సో జిందగీ దుబారా నహీ మిలేగా జిందగీ దుబారా నహీ మిలేగా బట్ డివోటీస్ జిందగీ డెఫినెట్లీ మిలేగా when we practice serious bhakti yoga. Eternal life milega. Jindagi dobara milega. Nahi milega. Jindagi dobara milega when we practice bhakti yoga nicely. What kind of jindagi milega? Permanent life milega. With Krishna. Serving Krishna all the time. Going back, Prabhupada writes numerous times. Going back home, back to Godhead. Going back home, back to Godhead. BTG. Our fortnight weekly also back to Godhead. Text 39, please recite, please read translation, anybody? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Madhusudan Prabhu ki jai. Read so.
O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature.
So that is the thing. How can we escape conditions of material nature? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktya deham punarjanma naiti mameti swayam. Beautiful connected verse by Prabhupada. BG 4.9. So one important point making here, the example is given by Srila Prabhupada here. Just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants, like that. If we worship Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord, if a person is obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence, worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth. How can we understand? Let us see. If we understand this verse from Bhagavad Gita, a person sticks to practicing Bhakti Yoga. Again, Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So he always gets that consciousness. Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world. But if one simply, this is Prabhupada's understanding, see, let us see, important points. If one simply engages in Krishna consciousness to understand Krishna, he surely becomes immune to the process of repeated birth and death. Word used, immune to the process of birth and death, repeated birth and death. Tyaktya deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Such a person, simply by engaging in Krishna consciousness, understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, becomes quite fit to return back to Godhead. Even those who are obsessed with material desires may also come to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead so steadily that they go back to Godhead. The possibility of Supreme Personality of Godhead, worshipping possibility, even the material desires, definitely he will go back to Godhead. Somehow, maybe some light. Again, he takes birth in the material world, but he have consciousness. Some Supreme Personality of Godhead so steadily worship. This is the important word, statement by Srila Prabhupada. See, even those who are obsessed with material desires may also come to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead so steadily that they go back to Godhead. Then what does it mean? If a person, approached Supreme Personality of Godhead to material benefit, definitely Krishna is going to fulfill, and Krishna is going to give realization also that particular living entity, that whatever needed, Krishna is going to provide definitely. That is not obstruct to his devotional service, and eventually he got the realizations and get rid of all the material desires and practicing complete bhakti yoga. Get that? 1 second, 22 minutes. Okay. The fact is that if one comes to Krishna consciousness, although he may have many material desires, he becomes increasingly attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna through associating with the Supreme Lord by chanting his holy name. So through the Bhakti Yoga means chanting of the holy name, Shravanam Kirtanam. It starts with Shravanam and Kirtanam. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we all have to hear how I am chanting, how I am reciting each syllable. Shravanam and Kirtanam, how I am reciting, how I am saying. The Supreme Lord and His holy name are identical. Abhinnatvam namanamino. That's the thing. The perfection of life is to be uninterested in material enjoyment and interested in Krishna. Attached to Krishna, detached to Maya, or materialistic way of life. Kama, Dveshad, Bhayat, Snehat, whether for the satisfaction of material desires, because of the influence of envy, because of the fear, because of affection, because of any other reason. If one comes to the Krishna, his life is successful. Same akama sarva kama moksha kama udarati tibrena bhakti yogena yajeta purisham param. Same thing. Text 40. Anybody, please quickly. Already 8:40. Hare Krishna. Read.
May I continue, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Continue, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Translation. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O conquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavata Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desire, like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of a Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. Right.
Very good. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
When you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is uncontaminated religious system for achieving shelter of your lotus feet. So here, one thing mentioned here, persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self-satisfied sages, worship you to be the liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. So Rupa Goswami's verse, Prabhupada pointed out here, Bhakti Rasamrita, from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this is the Bhagavad Dharma. Practitioners of a Bhakti Yogi have a consciousness of Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Adi Anavrutam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. No material benefit or profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. Just render transcendental service without desires for any material, no material desires. Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Only desire for serving Krishna. That is the only desire. And Narada Pancharatra also saying Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Sarva Upadi means designations, different designations, material designations. I am man, I am woman, I'm American, I'm African, like that. I'm software engineer, I'm data scientist. These are the things, material body related designations. He should be restored his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. Rishikena Rishikesha, proprietor of the senses. This is called Bhagavad Dharma. This is also called Bhagavad Dharma. Without material aspirations. All the literature, all the scriptures are saying that one. Enunciated by pure devotees. Bhagavad Dharma is the process of religion enunciated by pure devotees. Because they are the exemplary devotees, they have shown their life example to practice. See, they say six Goswamis are very opulent as a materialist, if you see their material life. But they surrendered to the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they accepted a renounced, complete, austere austere lifestyle. They won't live under one tree in particular day. They change every other day. That is the detachment. Detachment and attraction and attachment towards Supreme Lord. That is their consciousness, attraction, attachment towards Supreme Lord, towards Supreme Lord's lotus feet. They are in the pastimes actually. How can they practice? Because they are the pure devotees. That's where they are exemplary devotees. Direct representative of the Supreme Personality of God, like Narada, Sukadeva Goswami, humble servants of disciplined Krishna. Bhagavad Dharma, one immediately becomes free from material contamination. What is Bhagavad Dharma? Anyabhilashita Shunyam, and then Akama Sarva Kama, Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam, those two verses. And Bhagavad Dharma also defined in this verse. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshije Ahaituki Aprathyata Yayatma Suprasidati. Unmotivated and uninterrupted. This is two important words, okay? Unmotivated and uninterrupted. No motivation and without any stopping. Unmotivated, uninterrupted. Unmotivations means again material desires, personal sense gratification, some for material profit, Radharans, uninterrupted, no stopping, always chant. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Krishna is given instruction actually. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya drudavrata namasyantasya mam bhakti nityayukta upasate. How can it possible? It is gonna possible if we give our mind to Krishna, Guru and Krishna. Definitely possible. Uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. So this is where the pure transcendental process of religion. Bhagavata Dharma. Text 41. Anybody? Please read.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Mata, go ahead.
Being full of contradictions, all forms of religion, but Bhagavata Dharma work under conceptions of 22 results, under distinctions of you and I, and yours and mine. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power, but such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. Can I read purport?
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Let me see. Mataji, sorry to say, time constraint. I have to explain quickly. Okay, na?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I will explain. Okay. So these verses from 40 to 43, 40, 41, 42, 43 talks about Bhagavad Dharma. Chitragit Maharaj's prayers, is saying Bhagavad Dharma. That is actually Bhagavad Dharma means following the orders given by the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Here another understanding of Bhagavad Dharma. Following the instructions of Supreme Lord. 18.66. Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Surrender at the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. What is this? Dharma tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. What is our Dharma? Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. We just have to practice devotional service. That is our Dharma. In Bhagavad Dharma, there is no question of what you believe and what I believe. Everyone must believe in the Supreme Lord and carry out his orders. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. That is the thing. That is the Dharma. There are various religions there. Muslim religion, Hindu religion, Christian religion. This religion or that religion. There will be conflicts. History shows, Prabhupada writes, clear conception of God have fought with one another. There are many instances of this human society, but systems of religion that do not concentrate upon service to the Supreme Lord, Supreme are temporary and cannot last for long, because they are full of envy. There are many activities directed against such religious systems. One must give up, important, one must give up the idea of my belief, your belief. Everyone should believe in God and surrender unto Him. This is what is called Bhagavad Dharma. So, and everything connected with Krishna only, actually. Why we have to follow Bhagavad Dharma? Because everything connected with Krishna. Ishopanishad says, Ishavashyam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. No. Ishavashyam idam sarvam. That is, Ishopanishad verse is there. According to the Vedic instruction, sarvam kalau idam brahma. Brahman, the Supreme, is present in everything. Everything, right? Everything has a super soul. Everything is Brahman because everything can be used for the service of the Supreme Lord. How can we understand everything is Brahman? Actually, I am Brahman. How can we understand? In my body, the super soul is there. The super soul, what? Super soul is nothing but Krishna himself, the Paramatma feature. What he wants? He wants practice Bhakti Yoga and understand his the identity. And using everything, it can be used for the service of Supreme Lord. Yes, this body has to use it for Krishna service. Bhagavad Dharma is called Sarvotkrisha, the best of all religious systems, because it directs to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, surrendering to the Supreme Lord, and connects everything to Supreme Lord. Right? So that's why it's Sarvotkrisha. Right? Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. As devotee, a devotee is therefore exactly like the Supreme Personality. Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. He is the friend of all living entities. Therefore, this is the best of all religious system. Krishna himself is Bhagavad-gita. Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. I am the friend of all living entities. That if you understand the real friend, is Krishna only. And he won't leave us. Even though if we changing bodies, he never leaves us. He never leaves us. Again, based on our activities, he will give the suitable body and he possesses it. He will be there in the body. Always there. Soul and super soul always there, devotees. Text 42, Shilpa Mataji, one point I wanted to tell you here, no, till 48 only, no, 48 onwards, sorry, 49 to 64, that's a good section. Then Lord's response to Chitragita prayers, maybe tomorrow, I think, Satashahita Prabhu. I will conclude until 48 only, Mataji. Okay, na? Hare Krishna, Mataji. Another 6 more verses there. Anybody likes to read?
Hare Krishna. Can you read this, Prabhu? This is
Subhana.
how can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and others be beneficial for oneself and for them? What is auspicious about following such a system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self-envy, and by causing pain to others, one arouses your anger and practices civility.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. So, it's a very, very big purport Srila Prabhupada has given in this verse. Very, very big purport. Few verses, connected verses given. So, let me see. So, this is the text 42 verse. What is this 42 verse? Comparing with Kamya Dharma, which produces envy and hatred. So, here, how can a religious system that produces envy of oneself and others be beneficial for oneself and for them? So, my religion is good, other religions are not complete. What is auspicious about following such a system? What is actually to be gained by causing pain to one's own self due to self-envy, and by causing pain to others? One arouses your anger and practices a religion. So any religious system, but the process of Bhagavad Dharma, service as an eternal servant of Supreme Personality, is a system of envy. Prabhupada writes, no? First lines only. Any religious system, but the process of Bhagavad Dharma. If any religious system is not, basically, if any religious system not following Bhagavad Dharma and understanding our identity as a servant of Supreme Lord, is a system of envy of one's own self of others. So here he has written, for example, there are many systems of religion in which animal sacrifices are recommended. Such animal sacrifices are inauspicious both for the performer and for the animal. Although one is sometimes permitted to sacrifice an animal before the goddess Kali and eat it instead of purchasing meat from a slaughterhouse. Permission to eat meat after sacrifice in the presence of the goddess Kali is not the order of the Supreme Personality of God. It is simply concession for the miserable person who will not give up eating meat. And అదే తీసుకొని కదా దేవుని దగ్గర పెడదాము తిందాము, ఇదే ఐడియా. కరెక్ట్ కాదు అది. This such a religious system is condemned. Therefore Krishna says sarvadharman parityajya. One may argue that sacrifice of animals is recommended in Vedas. Thus the recommendation, however, is a restriction. Without Vedic restriction on the purchase of meat, people will purchase meat from the market, which will be overpaid. Even we all, Prabhupada writes that. This is the thing. it creates karma, bad karma. In any case, a system of religion in which animal sacrifices are recommended is inauspicious for those who perform sacrifices and for the animals. Envious persons who perform ostentatious animal sacrifices are condemned in Bhagavad Gita 16.7 as follows. Atma sambhavita stabda dhanamana madanvitaha yajante nama yajnaste dambhe navadhi purvakam. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false pleasure, they sometimes perform sacrifices in name only, without following in the rules. And so Prabhupada mentioned here animal sacrifice in name only. He wanted to satisfy their senses. So this is what it is. What are you saying? Self-complacent, always impudent, deluded by wealth, false pleasure, sometimes perform rules and regulations. Rules and regulations. Yajna, see what is Prabhupada mentioned here. Although performed in the name of yajna, are not actually yajna. For yajna means to satisfy the Supreme Personality of God, because he is a yajna Purusha. Ultimately, he has to satisfy with that yajna. Therefore, it is recommended that in this age of Kali, yajnai sankirtana praye yajantyehi sumedasaha. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Krishna himself is in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Those who have good inclination satisfy yajna Purusha, Vishnu, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So basically, why Hare Krishna mantra? Some people say, oh, always Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. You are not getting bored? But because Shastra says this, chant Hare Krishna mantra. Oka mantram jal actually. Oka Hare Krishna mantram is enough to come back to God. If we understand and the power of holy name. Envious persons, however, are condemned by the Supreme Personality of God as follows. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samsrita mamatma paradeheshu prada vishanto bhayasukaha tanaham dvisto kuran samsareshu naradhamam kshipami ajasram ashubam asurisheva yonishu. So this is from Bhagavad Gita. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, these are the things. They are demoniac qualities. Demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of God, who is situated in his own body, in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. 1 second, devotees, 1 second. My battery down. Computer battery. Hare Krishna. See, so this is where Chitraketu Maharaj's prayers, Srila Prabhupada ecstatically, nicely written purports actually. One has to spend some time. To go through with these purports. Very nice purports. Yeah, these are the Bhagavad Gita 16, 18, and 19 verses. Again, ultimately, this is Bhagavad Dharma. Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Dharma Swanishta Pumsan Vishwakshena Katasu Not Padayadiratam Atim Srama Eva Kevalam. So if you are not following Bhagavad Dharma, if you are following the instructions of Supreme Lord, if you are not following Bhagavad Dharma, if you are not following instructions of Supreme Lord, if you are not, instructions laid out in the scriptures, especially, worshipping Supreme Lord, everything is Srema Eva Kevalam. Srema Eva Kevalam. Duties, dharma executed by men, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor. Srema Eva Kevalam. If they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. Adi already given in the Bhagavatam. What is Bhagavad Dharma? It has to get attraction towards Supreme Lord. The why we follow instructions? Because to develop an attraction towards Supreme Lord, to develop love, to reciprocate with Supreme Lord. That's why we follow these instructions. Following a system of religion that does not awaken one's Krishna consciousness or God consciousness is merely a waste of time and labor. Time waste process. All other things. That's where take up the beads and chant Hare Krishna following regulative principles and serving in devotee association. That's what it is. Devotee's life. Text 43, another few more verses. Silpa Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji, another few minutes. I have to. నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నా అంటే మాతాజీ మీకు until 48 verse only, because this section the Chitraketu Maharaj's prayers ends until 48 verse.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
From 49 to until end of the chapter, 62 or 64 verses,
Huh.
Supreme Lord's reply to Chitraketu Maharaj. So that section, Santosh Adi Prabhu, whoever tomorrow,
రేపు చేస్తారు సందేశాది
I will finish quickly, another few minutes.
ఓకే
Okay.
ప్రభుజీ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
Text 43. Read. You want to read translation? Hare Krishna Lavanya, you want to read? Shilpa Mata, whoever not read, can you please read? Be practice. Be at least some attention and focus here. Vani Mataji, I am seeing. Padma Mataji already one read. Kinchan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji. Please, few verses here, night. Please read translations.
Yes, Prabhuji. My dear Lord, one's occupation duty is instructed in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita according to your point of view, which never deviates from the highest goal of life. Those who follow their occupational duties under your supervision, being equal to all living entities, moving and non-moving, and not considering high and low, are called Aryans. Such Aryans worship you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport.
Mataji, purport కొంచెము నేనే చూసి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నా టైం కొంచెం
Okay.
So this is very important thing. One's occupational duty is instructed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarvadha, what is that? Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radhokshe. Unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service. So since we have metal body, we have to work. Without work, we cannot sustain. Mayyarpita Mano Buddhir. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Mayyarpita Mano Buddhir. Mayyarpita Mano Buddhir. Yes. Our mind, intelligence, using in Krishna service. Whatever situation, whatever occupation we are doing, give mind and intelligence to Krishna. Bhava Dharma and Krishna Katha are identical. So this is given at the age of 5 years old. We start giving Krishna consciousness. Kaumara Acharit Pragyo Dharman Bhagavan Iha. Occupational duty. When occupational duty means Prabhupada writing all this. Kaumara Acharit Pragyo Dharman Bhagavan Iha. Durlabam Manusham Janma Tadapi Adruvam Artadam. 5 years of, if a person got 5-year-old, they are ready to take spiritual knowledge. Start reciting slokas, sitting in the classes is good. That's the starting point. Prahlad Maharaj preached Bhagavatam among his classmates as soon as an opportunity was afforded by the absence of his teachers from the classroom. Akkadi start chesindu. Narayana Mantram. Sriman Narayana Bhajanam. Narayana Mantram. Sriman Narayana Bhajanam. Bhagavad Dharma means living according to the instructions. Same again. So we have different varnas and ashramas there. Whatever varna and ashrama, ultimately samsiddhir haritoshana, right? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, Brahmachari, Gruhastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Whatever situation and whatever varna and ashrama situated, it has to satisfy the samsiddhir haritoshana. A very big purport. I'm just skipping. So this is one of the, we frequently reciting this with our family, these verses. What is the benefit when we follow Bhagavad Dharma? What is the benefit when we follow Bhagavad Dharma? This is the beauty. Yetu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matpara ananyena yogena mam dhyayanta upasati tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami na chirat partha payyaveshita chetasam. So this is the beauty. When we follow Bhagavad Dharma nicely, seriously, for one who worship me, giving up all activities unto me, being devoted to me without deviation. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Engage in devotional service, always meditating upon me, fixed his mind upon me. O Sanna Pruta, for him. Itlanti వాళ్ళకి ఏంటిది? Complete surrender to Krishna, dedicating all activities to Krishna, complete devotion, remembering all the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all the Bhakti Angas. What is the benefit? I am swift deliverer. ఇట్లా ఒక ఫ్లాష్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్ లో తీసేస్తాడు అనమాట. ఏంటిది? జన్మ మృత్యు జరా వ్యాధి. We are gonna get eternal life because our mind, our consciousness is ready to go back to God 100%. So Krishna himself is given in this instruction. So this is what it is. Tesham aham samuddartha mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Fixed his mind upon me. It's not easy, but with practice it will be possible. With the devotee association. Yeah. Anybody? Akinchan Prabhu? Next, Hare Krishna Lavanya, are you there? Please read. Kinchan Prabhu? I think you dropped off.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Madhai Mataji, okay. Next, Hare Krishna Lavanya, are you there? Ask to unmute. Okay. Yeah, Madhai, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation. My Lord, it is not impossible for one to be immediately freed from all material contamination by seeing you, not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing the holy name of your Lordship only once. Even Chandalas, men of the lowest class, are freed from all material contamination. Under the circumstances, who will not be freed from material contamination simply by seeing you?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmala. 1 second, devotees. Just so, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, Peda. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 9.5.16, Yennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. Simply by hearing holy name, what happens? One is immediately purified. So that's the power of holy name. That's the power of holy name. Yennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. Bhava Dharma means chanting the holy names of the Lord. Therefore, in this age of Kali, when all people are very contaminated, this chanting holy name of the Lord is recommended. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is another way. Then what is the way? Chanting the holy names of the Lord. Why we have to chanting the holy names of the Lord? Prabhupada writes this beautiful word. Purify our existence. Purify our existence. What is our existence? Contaminated existence. Because so much material desires, so much going on, right? We all know, everybody check there personally. So many material motives, material desires. So this is a contaminated life. So how can we get rid of this contaminated life? So this is the verse from Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 5th verse, 5th chapter, 16th verse. Ennama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. That contamination will go chanting the holy names of the Lord. So that is Bhagavad Dharma. Here Chitraketu Maharaj also pointing out, well, it is not impossible for one to be immediately freed from all material contamination by seeing you, not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing the holy name of your Lordship only once. Even Chandalas, men of the lowest class. Someday, so he is personally seeing Supreme Lord. Now, what he is saying, not to speak of seeing personally, merely by hearing the holy name of, say Abhinatva Namanamina, right? Krishna and Krishna's holy name, there is no difference. Just like here, personally experiencing Supreme Lord, Chitraketu Maharaj, we can also experience by attentively, focusedly chanting the holy names of the Lord. It will definitely eventually Krishna is going to reveal us. Krishna is going to give the taste of the holy names. What we have to show? Our sincerity, our effort. We have to put effort. We have to show our sincerity. It's not easy, and consistency needed, devotees. Consistently, every day we need to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, regularity principles, and serving devotee community, and spreading the holy name by distributing books, etc. We have complete package. Krishna consciousness fully engaged in Krishna service in different various activities. Text 45, anybody likes to read? Hare Krishna. Lavanya Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
చదవండి ప్లీజ్.
Translation and interpretation. Okay. Therefore, my dear Lord, simply seeing you has now wiped away all the contaminations of sinful activities and their results of material attachments and the lusty desires, which always filled my mind and the core of my heart. Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narada Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by the Narada Muni.
Prabhu, purport is one paragraph only, you can read.
Okay. Purport. This is the process of perfect way. One must take the lessons from the authorities like Narada, Vyasa, and Asista, and they follow Asita. Yeah. And follow their principles. Then one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead even with the one's own eyes. One only needs training. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet graham indriye. With our blunt eyes and other senses, we cannot pursue the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, according to the instructions of the authorities, it will be possible to see him. As soon as one sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the sinful reactions in the core of one's heart are certainly vanquished.
Vanquished. Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is the thing. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. Sevonmuhe jivado swayam eva. This jiva is very important, important bodily part with the tongue only. Two propensities, right? Speaking propensity, eating propensity. Prabhupada writes in small books, in his purports also. What he says, if we train this tongue nicely, speaking only Krishna Katha, only to the point, speaking only Krishna Katha and taking remnants of Supreme Lord, that is Prashadam. It will be, the mind is going to control eventually. So that's where it is. Atha Sri Krishna Namadi, and speaking propensity using Krishna service. How? Chanting the holy names of the Lord. Eating propensity, take only Prashadam. Speak only Krishna Katha, take only Krishna Prasadam. Very good. Okay. Simply seeing you, what is feeling? Chitraketu Maharaj's feeling. Simply seeing you, my all the contamination gone, my sinful activity is gone, my metal attachment gone, lusty desires gone. Those were filled my mind and the core of my heart. Lusty desires means, he wanted to have a son. Hmm? He has great riches, opulences, everything. Because of material desires, he wanted to have son. And then one son died, and then coming back as a living entity, and explain that living entity, he got to understand, oh, this is not the thing, this is the temporary thing. So he realized, so this is the thing. As soon as one sees the Supreme Personality of God, all the sinful reactions of the core of one's heart are certainly vanquished. So as soon as one sees, how can we see? So that is Chitraketu Maharaj's fortunate situation. What about us? How can we Supreme Lord? How can we see Supreme Lord? Through the scriptures. Shastra Chakshu. So if we follow the scriptures, our life becomes successful. Our contaminations will go away. All the sinful reactions vanquished. So that is the difference here. So when we are spending in Bhagavatam, understanding about, and we are in the Leela of this pastime. We are Leela. We are going through this Bhagavatam pastimes. That means we are with Krishna, whether we believe it or not. But Krishna is there. Supreme Personality of Godhead is glorifying. Whatever is glorification, Supreme Personality of Godhead is hearing from Chitraketu Maharaj. So here also Krishna is there. That means when we connect with Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, when we read means our time passing in Krishna's service. Very wonderful time, very wonderful thing, right? Our time is passing in Krishna's service. We won't be able to, with our blunt senses, we won't be able to check how much it is going to affect. But simultaneously, the back of the consciousness, it is working because it's a purity, because these teachings are eternal. Okay, text 46 and 46, 47, 43. Three more verses. Please, anybody?
Prabhu, I'll go ahead.
Yeah, Subbaru.
O unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, whatever a living entity does in this material world is well known to you because you are the super soul. In the presence of the sun, there is nothing to be revealed by the light of a glow. Similarly, because you are everything in your presence, there's nothing for me to make known. Correct.
Yeah. So, thank you, Prabhuji. Whatever living entity does in this material world is well known to you because he knows. How can he know? He is situated in Chara Achara, right? He is moving and non-moving because everything come from him. Because everything conscious of, he knows everything, every minute details, every particle, Chara Achara, everything. In the presence of the sun, there is no need of glowworms. Glowworms means మినుగురు పురుగులు చీకట్లో ఎంత లైట్ ఇస్తుంది, సన్లైట్ ముందు గ్లో వామ్ ఎంత అనేది. దట్ మీన్స్ you know everything, every inch, every particle, everything, unlimited supreme personality of Godhead. Whatever living entity does in this material world is well known. That means, how can he know? Because of the super soul situated in every living entity. He knows present of the living entity. He knows the past of the living entity. He knows the future being of the living entity. And what he desires also he knows. Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwaram. He is going to give. And he is not going to obstruct or he is not going to come in between our free will. Our free will, he has supreme free will. He can do anything. He can create any number of universes. He is unlimited personality. Uh, we have our minute quality, right? The free will also we have. How can we use that free will? In either we use in Krishna service or either we use in illusionary way of Maya service. That means materialistic motive. So this is one more verse. Okay, text 48. These last two verses, devotees. Thank you for patiently hearing and this important chapter from Bhagavatam. Text 47. I want to recite this wonderful verse actually. Namastubhyam Bhagavate Sakala Jaga Sthiti Layodayeshaya Dura Vashistatma Gatayaye Kuyoginam Vida Paramahamsaya Kuyoginam Bidha Paramahamsaya. Translation, please. Anybody? Anybody, please read. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Kuyoginam Bidha Paramahamsaya. Very significant that word. Tell me.
Yeah.
Yes, mother.
My dear Lord, you are the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of this cosmic manifestation. But persons who are too materialistic and who always see separateness do not have eyes with which to see you. They can't understand your real position, and therefore they conclude that the cosmic manifestation is independent of your opulence. My Lord, you are the supreme pure, and you are full in all six opulences. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Very well. Thank you, mother.
Thank you for this.
Is a creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Srushti Sthiti Laya of this cosmic manifestation. Persons who are too much materialistic always see separateness, do not have eyes with which to see you. They cannot understand your real position because their eyes covered with ignorance. And therefore, they conclude that the cosmic manifestation is independent of your opulence. Everything connects with Krishna. There is no independence thing. And everything according to his own orders working. These various demigods, they are having different departmental functions as Agni, Varuna, Vayu, all these elements. They're all surrendered, they're all servants of Krishna. And all this cosmic manifestation under his direction. What is Maya Dyakshena Prakriti? Suyate Sacharachanam. But materialistic people, they see separateness, something, same Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Therefore, they conclude that the cosmic is independent of your opulence. They won't understand the connectedness. Therefore, You are the supreme pure and you are full in all six opulences. Aishwaryasya, Yashasha, Shriya, Jnana, Vairagyam. Six opulences, right? Knowledge, beauty, wealth, knowledge, beauty, wealth, strength, power, renunciation. Okay, so this is the thing. What is saying? The supreme personality of God is Paramahamsa, or the supreme pure, whereas those who are sinful, being very much attached to material sense enjoyment, therefore engaging material activities like asses are of the lowest of men. ఇది డీపెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ యాస్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. జస్ట్ ఫుడ్ పెడితే వాళ్ళు ఏ పని అంటే ఆ పని చేస్తుంది అనమాట. All their so-called scientific knowledge is null and void because of their atheistic temperament. Thus, they cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead. निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जगद्गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. Paramahamsa. Krishna is Paramahamsa. Pure devotees become Paramahamsa because they are not separate from Krishna. Everything they understand and everything connects. Sarvakarana Karanam. Basically, they understand Krishna is Sarvakarana Karanam. Without Krishna, my life is not there. So that is their understanding. Pure devotee consciousness. Last verse, 48 verse. With this, he concluded with his prayers to Supreme Lord Chitraketu. Let me recite. My dear Lord, it is after you endeavor that Lord Brahma, Indra, and other directors of the cosmic manifestation become occupied with their activities. Same departmental job functionalities, job roles. It is after you perceive the material energy, my Lord, that the senses begin to perceive. The Supreme Personality of Godhead holds all the universes on his heads like seeds of mustard. Seeds of mustard ఎంత అల్కాగా ఉంటాయి, ఎంత ఈజీగా ఉంటాయి, like that. పెద్ద భారం కాదు, because he has created. So see how from his skin pores coming these universes, understand? And it looks like seeds of mustard. I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has thousands of hoods, Ananta Shesha. So ikkadtoni Lord Chitraketu Maharaj prayers towards Supreme Lord done. So few things, one last 2-3 minutes, devotees, one last 2 to 3 minutes. Unless I share this PDF, incomplete. And Gauranga Darshan Prabhu also will feel. Okay, so this is what thing. Okay, so this is another section. Tomorrow, maybe Santosh Prabhu will continue 49 to 64 verses. Lord responds to Chitraketu prayers. But before that, there are few things I wanted to tell. One last thing. Okay, glossary la untadi. Okay. So today's section we have continued over this one, right? 34 to 48 verses. Chitraketu prayers to the Supreme Lord. 38 to 39 glory of devotees. And 38 what he glorified by criticizing non-devotees. Animalistic human beings worship demigods. Human beings treated as animalistic because even though demigod worshipper also is a vipada pashu. And if you worship Supreme Lord, even with material desires, avoids repeated birth and death. Like fried seeds do not produce more plants. Very important instruction. And 42 to 43, glory of Bhava Dharma described. Devotees accept Bhava Dharma to achieve shelter of your lotus feet. And Chitraketu Maharaj also, he got the instructions from Narada Muni, what you need to do. So he is practicing Bhakti Yoga. Comparing with Karma Dharma, which produces envy and hatred. Path of Bhava Dharma followed by cultured people, Aryan. Personal experience, freed from all material contamination. Krishna consciousness is a personal experience. We can experience Krishna. Expressed gratitude to NM. NM is Narada Muni, okay? Expressed gratitude to Narada Muni. I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. All-knowing Lord need not be updated. I am like firefly in front of sun. Materialistic men can't recognize you because they see separateness. Materialistic men can't recognize you because they see separatedness in you. And Prabhupada write, null and void. Null and void, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. And they separately think that, cosmic manifestation is something somebody created, but not connected with Supreme Lord. Of our obeisances, we have thousands of wood, maintains all planetary system just like mustard seed on his woods. So tomorrow, Lord's response is very beautiful section. So what is gonna response? Chitragita prayers. Hare Krishna, thank you so much, devotees. Thank you so much for your patience. I took 30 minutes more. Sorry for that. But all the time is benefited. Whether you are here, right? Krishna is there. So we are all benefited. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri
Hare
Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anybody
Krishna
have any?
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Yeah.
Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams, excellent class. Excellent. Haribol, Haribol.
Really, that Prabhu, you are nice devotee. Regularly joining our calls.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna,
much.
Prabhu.
Lakshmi
Hare
Kant Prabhu.
Krishna.
Any question you have, Prabhu?
I'll call you personally because it's too late, I think. Everybody is.
Okay. Sure. You can call.
I'll call you.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So thank you so much, devotees, for the opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Hari Premanande. Hari Jai Gaur Hari Premanande.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.